Evening everyone. So this is a video response to this guy, Andy, if as if you guys didn't know. How did I get into gaming and game collecting? So I guess like with anyone our sort of age really, probably got into gaming when I was, I don't know, must have been about 5, something like that. And a friend of my mum's bought an Atari 2600 Junior round, just for us to have a go with. I think he had like Pac-Man and Space Invaders and Pong. I think those were the 3. And he ended up leaving it with us. So he had it for like the weekend or a week maybe. And this was like 1985 or something like that. So the Atari had been around quite a bit already. So yeah, that was my first sort of experience really. I was probably only 5, something like that. And then there was quite a long period where I didn't have a system of my own till about 89, 90, something like that, when I got my Master System. So to be honest with you, most of the stuff that I played was in arcades. I think, to be fair, back then there were so many arcades that it's probably the same for everybody. I guess. I think once I got my Master System, I'd been round. My mum had a friend who, like, she had a son, and it was his like 10th or 11th birthday, something like that. And he had been bought a Master System with Double Dragon. So so for my birthday, I'd sort of said that I wanted the same thing. And basically, there was a shop down the bottom of our street that was a second-hand shop, Jeff's Second-Hand Shop, we just called it. And he sold everything, bric-a-brac, bits and bobs, all sorts really. But he had this Master System that was boxed in the window, and it had a sticker on it, and it said, Master System comes with, it's like 2 or 3 games, something like that. And I said, oh, I want that, I want that, I want that. And we passed that shop on the way to school every day. So, obviously I was pecking my mum to get that for my birthday. So, yeah, it was either 1990 or 1991, something like that. Wrapped up was this Master System. And I was chuffed to bits. I played the heck out of it. And it came with Double Dragon as well, which was the game that I'd seen, my friend playing. And I played that to death. Completed it almost every time I played it. In fact, I dare say Double Dragon is probably my most completed game. I've completed it that many times. I lost count, Back then, of course, if you had a game, you just had to play it over and over and over, because it was just so difficult to get new games. We lived in quite a rural town, so there wasn't really, there was no, game shop, nothing like that. So just how it was, I suppose. And occasionally you'd have a mate sell you something, or, if I was really good, my mum would, go out and get me a game from somewhere. I've no idea where she got them, probably like Argos or Woolworths or something. Yeah, so that was kind of my first few experiences of gaming really. By the time it had come around to my brother's birthday in like 93, 94, I think we went on to the Super Nintendo, because that's what he wanted. So that's what we sort of shared, and Super Nintendo. So I kind of missed out on the Mega Drive a bit, and I picked up my first Mega Drive only last year. But yeah, so in terms of collecting, I suppose my collecting goes back to 1990, 1991. But unfortunately, we had a house fire. I'm sort of sad to say. But the only thing that survived was my boxed Master System and about half a dozen cartridges. None of the cases or boxes made it, unfortunately, but I'd been wise enough to pack my cartridges in the box. They somehow fit in with the, within the polystyrene and that, and I'd got the boxed Master System. So it's like the one thing that I treasure most in the world now, other than my kids and my wife, obviously, that made it, that, you know, sort of lived to tell the tale, so to speak. So yeah. Anyway, in terms of collecting then, so I probably started collecting them with those 6 games. And when I became an adult, I bought this one job lot, really. I somehow managed to knacker up my Master System Model 1. I think I remember vaguely as a kid, very vague, plugging in a Nintendo AC plug adapter, which fried the voltage regulator, you know, within a couple of seconds, and it just didn't work. And I only just got it working again in lockdown last year, and hence why, you know, that kind of rekindled really me wanting to collect. Sorry, I jumped ahead a little bit. So I was saying before, because it didn't work, when I was about 20, eBay was just sort of starting to take off, really. And we'd moved to Manchester, so this guy had put a Master System 2 and about, I don't know, 12, 15 games, something like that, on eBay, which I won. And I'm not joking, I must have paid about 20, 22 quid, not a lot, for like this Master System 2 and, you know, all these games and that. And in there was like Golden Axe Warrior, Psycho Fox, Running Battle, Double Hawk, and a few others. And yeah, I just went and picked it up. You know, went and picked it up. I just moved to Manchester, so yeah, why not? You know, and then you kind of do all of the adult type things when you're at that sort of age, where you buy a house, you get married, you move around a bit, and both the Master Systems kind of went in the loft, really. Then we moved to America a few years ago now, and ended up doing like a project out there for the company that I was working for, and I think we decided we wanted to move back to the UK. And my mum, we kind of sold everything, all of my other collection, everything got sold, again, except for the Master System. The couple of Master Systems that I had, you know, that was it. You know, I sold like my Xbox, my PlayStation 4, just everything that we had. I had a really decent collection, all went, like I say, except the Master System stuff. And by then, which, you know, must have had about 20 something game, maybe 30 games, say, tops. And that went to my mum's. She then moved to Norfolk, and she said, "Oh, you're going to come and I've moved in. I've got a box of your stuff here." So I had to go down to Norfolk, pick it all up. And that was, what, like 2018, 2019, something like that. And I just decided, I watched a couple of guys on YouTube. One was Ninja Bear Hug, and another one was 2T UK. And I watched a few other guys as well, but it was before, I wasn't really on Twitter, there was nothing like that, so I just took an interest really in these guys, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to start trying to build up the collection of the games that I used to have, you know, and that's kind of how it started, and then it kind of snowballed from there. You know, and as of this week, you know, I've got over 200 Master System games, which is nuts, really. I've only been really going for it properly for probably less than a couple of years, really. But I've just, you know, gone for it. Yeah, so anyway, that's kind of it. That's how I got into it. That's what I started with. Thanks ever so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. Thanks very much to Andy for the idea of this video response. I think he took it from somebody else, possibly. You know, I don't know who, but yeah, I hope we see a few more. I really enjoy these video responses, so I hope we keep doing them. Thanks ever so much, guys. I'll see you on the next one.